Good morning, children. L.K. Tripathi here. Dear children, this is our original video. We have discussed already about this topic, but we have to discuss again. This is our original task because we have finished most of our syllabus as it has been targeted for us. So let's try to understand once again those who joined the group late and could not get facility to understand. Oh, this is from history, that is Kushanas. Who were the Kushanas? How did they get power in India? Where they established their kingdoms? And so on. This video will give us a lot of information about Kushanas, their territories, their achievement. Start now. They established themselves as Takshila and Peshawar after defeating the Indo-Greeks. Indo-Greeks को डिफीट करने के बाद इन्होंने तक्षशिला और पेशावर को अपने अंडर इसको नेक्स्ट किया. द पल्लवास एंड द शकास, इनको भी इन्होंने हराया. Later they occupied the whole of Kashmir and Punjab and parts of present day Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. All these territories were occupied were Kushanas. Kushanas were very brave and skilled. They extended their power in many parts of the country. The Kushanas were a nomadic tribe of northwest China or Kazakhstan. They were the nomadic tribes who came to India. They belonged from China and Kazakhstan, that is the part of Russia. They were driven out of their homelands by the Huns. Huns, who were very much powerful and skilled, they just driven out this nomadic tribe from their territories. That's why they entered to India. As a result, they moved eastwards and arrived in Afghanistan in the 1st century CE. From there, they started to come to Afghanistan, that is the eastwards part of the area, and they came in 1st century. The Kushanas were very dynamic, like the Indo-Greeks, Parthians and Shakas. The Kushanas adapted well to the Indian climate and made this country their home. They followed Buddhism and spread Indian culture to West and Central Asia. They were the follower of Buddhism and spread this culture in India, West and Central Asia. Kanishka is regarded as the most powerful and brave ruler. You can say the greatest ruler of this dynasty. He came to power in 74th century. He formally established his power in the north and the northwest. He founded a vast empire including parts of Central Asia. Purushapura, that is modern Peshawar, was the capital of his empire. The kingdom was the first big empire in India after the birth of Christ. क्राइस्ट के बर्थ के बाद से जो है ये बहुत बड़ा पहला एम्पायर था इंडिया का. Kanishka started his era in 74th century, which is 78 years behind Christian calendar, जो कि 78 years बिहाइंड है क्रिश्चियन कैलेंडर के, मतलब आप कह सकते हैं 2000 साल पहले की लगभग ये बात है। Kanishka was deeply influenced by Buddhism. He donated large sums of money to build Buddhist monasteries. The fourth Buddhist council was held in Kashmir during his time. Kanishka's monastery to China, Korea, Tibet, and during the rule of Kushana, trade brought India and West Asia into close contact. Many towns like Takshila, Ujjain, and Mathura prospered. Trading contacts brought with it new ideas on art and religion. Achievements of Kanishka: trade. Trade flourished during this period. He had harmonious trade relations with West Asia. Takshila, Mathura, and Ujjain were important trading centers. A large number of gold, silver, and copper coins were issued by the Indo-Greeks and the Kushanas. This encouraged trade. The development of new crafts also promoted trade. Kanishka established the Silk Road, which proved to be a connection between the East and the West. This was the most important trade route at this time. From China, it ran across Central Asia and ended at the West Asia provinces of the Roman Empire. Through this route, India exported pearl, silk, ivory, and precious stones, glass, copper, tin, and gold. Or what was the development in the art? Kanishka established the Gandhara School of Art. This was an institution for promoting art and culture. Here, Indian craft persons were exposed to the Greco-Roman style of sculpture. The combination of the Greco-Roman and the Indian style of craftsmanship became the hallmark of the Gandhara school of art. Many images of the Buddha were made by the craft persons of the Gandhara school. In these images, Buddha was depicted having sharp features and curly hair. This school spread the Indian art all over Afghanistan, Kashmir, and Punjab. Kanishka also promised patronized Mathura School of Art. This school produced sculptures of the Buddha, Mahavira, and Kanishka. These images were not influenced by Greek and Roman styles and were purely Indian in form. Standing Buddha and the headless statue of King Kanishka. were the two most outstanding pieces of art by this school. The school had its center at Mathura and hence it came to be known as the Mathura School of Art. Religion. Hinduism and Buddhism were popular in this period. Buddhism was divided into two sects, Hinayana and Mahayana. Hinayana was the old and simple form of Buddhism. Mahayana was the new variant with many rituals and ceremonials. Kanishka was responsible for the reform school of Mahayana Buddhism. He sent missionaries who traveled long distances through the Silk Road. They spread Buddhism in Central Asia and China. In this way we have seen up to here. Rest we shall see in the next video, next till then. Thank you.